Hello, Steve White, Steve R89. So, I've had a bit of a problem with Woolworths lately, and I'm going to mention them by name because it's sort of a complaint, and I think you're entitled as a customer to make complaints. I normally use click and collect with them. It's fairly convenient. You make your order online, you just arrange a time, you pick it up. My Woolworths has a back door, so basically you don't have to go into the store, you don't have to go to the front or anything. You just press the buzzer and they open the door, they wheel all your stuff out on a cart. You just, if you've paid for bags, you just lift up the bags, take them out and go. It's really not a problem. It's very safe, it's very convenient. But unfortunately, a couple of months ago, they were renovating that space because they were getting a lot more traffic than they would normally get, and they wanted to renovate the space and make it better for, I guess, the staff, or maybe so they can deal with more volume. I'm not sure. But I tried to do a click and collect order, and there was no time period to pick it up. And I said, "What's happening? Why can't I do this?" And they said, "Oh, we're renovating for like 6 weeks." I'm like, "Oh, damn." And fortunately, I'd bought it in advance in case of an emergency, so I didn't actually need anything, but I didn't want to get behind. So I let it slide. So I'm like, fine, this is why I, panic bought and have, a bunch of food in advance. So if something goes wrong, I, have like plenty of food and stuff. So I eventually, I went back like 6 weeks later or something, and they were back to normal. And I got a couple of orders, and then I went back again, and same problem. And I said, what's happening? And the person initially didn't know, and they're like, I don't know. Like, you should be able to put the order through. It must be a tech problem. Go speak to tech. And I called them, and they said, no, there's nothing wrong. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the internet, with the system, with our online anything. So I went back, and I tried to make an order early in the morning so I could pick it up in that evening and go to bed and wake up and basically get it in the evening. So it was like 7 a.m. in the morning. So after talking to a few people for a while, it was nearly 8, and I thought, well, the store opens at 8. I'll just call and ask. I called, asked, I didn't know. And I eventually spoke to a few people. Eventually I got to the bottom. What it was, and I don't know why the person I spoke to in the store, I spoke to like 3 people, didn't know this, but they were renovating the car park so they couldn't have people use the area in front of the click and collect. Because most people, it's drive-through, they just park their car and pick their stuff up. But I don't have a car. I walk from my home because it's like 20 minutes walk away. It's not a huge problem. It is if you've got to carry a lot of stuff. So I tend to go there regularly for small orders. But I'm like, well, can't I just still get my order? I'm not using a car. I can go wherever you need to pick it up. I don't need to park there or anything. They said, no, we're just closing it all down for now, and it'll be up again in like a few weeks. So I said, damn. Because I was running a bit low on a few things. And I was complaining about the overall thing because I wasn't given the problem for a couple of hours on the phone, for like 2 hours. I spoke to about 4 different people before someone actually told me what the problem was, which I should have got right away. It should have been even on the system to say, this reason, whatever, we're not doing it. So they said, well, look, what we'll do is we'll give you a free delivery so you can get something delivered to you. You don't have to pay for it. It'll make up for the fact that we basically had you running around because I'd missed my window for that day, so now I had to push the order into the next day, so I had to change my plans for that day. And then the next day, the voucher they sent through for the free delivery hadn't come through. It was supposed to come through within 24 hours. It didn't come through. So I missed my window for the next day. So now I had to push it from Thursday into Saturday. And that really inconvenienced me. So they said, look, we're really sorry. We'll give you another free delivery and some other vouchers, and we'll send them via text this time. So you just let us know if you get it. And I got it, and they're like, okay. So I got my first order, and this is another issue, but it was a problem with this was I'd said to the guy, look, there's no room in the door to like take the order and redistribute the weight of everything, because I have to put everything in bags with shoulder straps so I can carry them long distance, because I can't use my arms because I have problems with my arms. And I need to sort of be able to walk properly because I have problems with my hip and my knee from where I had an accident a few years ago. So I can't be carrying a whole bunch of groceries because they take up space, and you have to sort of walk a certain way to because you have to put your legs together because you've got all this stuff around your legs. You can't sort of walk how you normally would. And I said, look, can you just meet me at the front? I'll come out. Just let me know when you're here. I'll come out to the van, give me the stuff, and then I'll be able to repack it and redistribute it into my bag so I can carry it up with no problems. Less work for you. You don't even have to get out of the van. So he says, yeah, sure. Like, I send the message, and then when I got the call, I said, oh, have you done everything like I said? And they're like, yeah. And I walk down, and they're standing at the front door of all the groceries in separate bags, and I just have to take them and carry them up exactly how I didn't want to do. And I'm struggling because they're banging into my legs, and I've holding them up by my arms, and it was just a nightmare. And I thought, fine, next time I'll make it really clear what I want. So I put in the other order because Another thing that happened when they made me wait so long, and I kept on missing my windows for putting in the orders, was I missed items that were now out of stock from between Thursday and Saturday. So I had to do another order to get the stuff I'd missed, which is another thing that I complained about why they gave me the vouchers. Like, okay, you have to do 2 orders now because we delayed you so long getting your other order free, you have to do 2. So, here's now a free voucher for that. So I did the second order, exact same thing. I got him on the phone and I said, okay, so you're out the front, you're not at the door, you're waiting for me at the van, I can come out and get my stuff. Yeah, come down. He's standing out front of the door just like the last guy. And I'm like, so I did the same thing, had to grab the bags, carry them up, bang into my legs, hurt my arms. And just, I'm like, wow, really? So now we have a third issue because there was a problem with the order. They left something out and they changed the order without telling me, because I suppose they send you a notification if something's not available or they're swapping something. They didn't do that. And I complained about that. I complained about a bunch of things. And they said, look, here's now a voucher. And the other issue was the vouchers, when I entered them into the website, they wouldn't work. Now, the person on the phone, when I called up to say, why? Okay, I got given these vouchers because things went wrong and I was going to use them, but they're not working. Is like, what's the point if they don't work? And said, well, when I enter them in the system, it works and the money comes off the balance. And it wasn't happening on the computer. I'm like, well, why isn't this working? And I looked at the app and the correct amount was on the app. So I said, well, if I pay for it through the app, I think I'll get the discount, so that's okay. But I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to either do the whole booking on the computer or do the whole booking on the app. I shouldn't have to pay on one and do it on the other and that, blah, blah. So, but I also complained about the issue of the person doing, not listening to the notes. Because you have notes, when you fill an order, you have notes about, so if you have a special need, you put it in there, they're supposed to read it and do what you need. So third time, exact same thing. And again, the guy comes, I call, I ask you where you're out the front, where you're supposed to be, blah, blah, blah. He said, yes, come down. He's standing at the front of the door, again, exactly the same as the last 2 people. Didn't listen to a word I said, didn't read the notes. And I grabbed the bags. This time though, the other people, they actually had the bags kind of really well packed, so there was only like 4 of them, so it wasn't really bad. This guy, they were just loosely in like 6 bags, so taking up less space, so I couldn't walk up the normal way. I had to actually turn to the side and have a bunch of bags behind me, a bunch of bags in front of me, and twist, and of course I pulled my back. So not long after that, I was in excruciating pain, and I was laying on my bed, and I literally called up and I was going to complain, but I was in too much pain. I just swore at them and hung up. It was so bad. And for no reason, because this is the 3rd time and I'd complained, and there's people that apparently have been told they need to read the notes on the deliveries because people have needs, specific needs, and that's what that section is there for, and they can't just go to the door and assume everyone is in the same situation. So I complained again, they gave me more vouchers, but no free deliveries, because I said I'm never using delivery service again. I can't do it. I'm in agony. I was literally in pain for like an hour. It hit me so hard. It felt like someone had like a double width machete they'd shoved in my lower back and up, and they were like using it to push me over. That's what it felt like. Something was inside my back under my muscles, like pain just pushing me over. It was like the most surreal. It felt like, I'm like, if you see like a puppet and the person's hand goes and bends them over. It felt like that. It was horrible. Never felt anything like that in my life. But I do have back problems, and I do avoid things because I don't want back pain. I've had different sorts of back pain, but nothing like that. That was from specifically doing what I was doing, which I shouldn't have had to do. So that's my Safeway story. I had to complain about that. And if other people have had the problem, keep complaining about it, because they're supposed to read the notes, because there are people with special needs and considerations, and they can't just ignore these because it makes the deliveries quicker or whatever, it's more convenient. It's part of their job. It's what they're supposed to do, and they're probably not going to do anything. It's like the post. Sometimes they just put the card in the box instead of actually going to the door, because they don't think anyone's going to know, and no one's, even if people complain, they don't listen. But I think if enough people complain, they might actually deal with this and may actually make it really clear to them you have to read the notes, because you're going to cause someone problems and injuries, and then there's people who aren't going to shop with them. I would shop with Coles, but Coles is too far away. But if I have to get any deliveries in the future, because I can't walk to Woolworths, because it's like I said, it's 20 minutes away, I can do it. But everything else is further away. But if I have to do a delivery again, I'm just going to go to Coles, because even if they can't be as bad, they just can't be as bad. So yeah, and the last delivery, at least I think I got everything that was actually in the order, except there's one more thing, and there's another little warning. The pasta, the essentials and the Woolworths pasta, it's the exact same thing now. Once upon a time, if you bought the Woolworths pasta, it was nicer. The essential pasta, it just turns into gluggy glue. It doesn't hold its shape. It's horrible. So I bought one lot of them once for, I'm buying a lot of stuff. I'll get the cheap stuff. Got it. It was awful. Never did it again. But now the essentials, they're basically putting the same pasta in the different packets. You look at the picture and it has different pasta inside it, but what you get is the other pasta. And so they're actually misleading customers because you look at the image and the description and it's not what you're getting. So I complain about that as well, but that seems to be a supply thing, so I don't see that changing. I just know now not to buy Woolworths essential pasta because it's basically turns into glue and it's horrible and I can't eat it. It's disgusting. Unfortunately, I have like 4 bags worth of it that I'm just gonna, I don't know, just put in the back of the cupboard and forget about it. I'm gonna go. That's my Safeway rant. Yeah, if you're having similar problems, complain. They should fix it eventually. I don't know. I'm gonna go. Bye.